As a way to begin, I just invite you to take a nice, just easy, deep, cleansing breath. Take that breath in. This is to remind you to realize that you are a child of God, and your true essence is divine. And with the exhale, this is the releasing of anything that tells you differently. This is releasing thoughts that really do not serve us in being the best person we can be. I have found that releasing unhealthy thoughts is necessary in order to allow for new, healthy thoughts may find place in my consciousness. In Unity, it is taught that meditation is the gateway to the silence. And the silence is described as the secret place of the Most High. Also, a state of consciousness entered into for the purpose of putting oneself in touch with divine mind. You may have also heard it is referred to as a place of retreat, where we may enter and know. A ministerial friend of mine just a few days ago said to me, "Tom, savor the silence." I really like that idea. So I advise you, if there's anything in your hands other than a child, just leave those papers aside. And as Reverend Kathy mentioned last Sunday, if we hear a child's voice, we love it. We love when the child expresses itself, even through meditation, because the child of God is expressing itself. I want to also ask that you perhaps be willing to turn your cell phones and other devices on silent, if they're not already. And our meditation is a practice of mindful breathing and of just really quieting the body and stilling the mind, and then turning our attention within. I am just now reminded of the quote from Ram Dass: "The quieter you become, the more you can hear." And I find it interesting that the Daily Word today, published in the Daily Word, is release, which is very closely connected to the Daily Word last week that Reverend Kathy talked about, and that is let go and let God. As I understand it, release is the activity of letting go and letting God. And so for today, our subject for the meditation will be to review, release, and renew. And we will establish a process and a method in which we take a journey within. So with all that said, go ahead and find a comfortable position in your chair. And if you need to move around a little bit on that chair, feel free to do that. You want to try to find a comfortable position. And when you're ready, go ahead and close your eyes. Allowing that very simple act of closing your eyes to be a signal that you are turning your attention inward. I think often of the lyrics in Daniel Nahbont's song, One Power, when he sings, we'll remember once we close our eyes to see. Allow your attention to be focused inward. And just take a moment to notice. As Eckhart Tolle says, the moment you start watching your thoughts, a higher level of consciousness becomes activated. I invite you to notice a little bit of how are you feeling right now. Notice what you might be aware of besides my voice, and notice without any need to judge it. Now go ahead and take a nice deep breath in, really aware of taking the breath into the body. And as you let that breath go, experience the feeling of letting go. I invite you to take another deep breath in and be aware of the air filling your lungs. And as you let that breath go, experience the feeling of being right here, right now, right in your chair, in this room. And then again, in a nice deep breath in, aware of the air filling your lungs as you let that breath go. Practice the feeling of being open, open mind, open heart. Continuing to be with each breath in, with each breath out. If your attention should wander at any time during our practice, just gently guide your awareness back to the very next breath. No judgment, just redirecting the attention. I think breathing is like a metronome. It keeps us connected to the rhythm of our hearts. It allows us to release the thoughts of the day that do not serve us and focus on the peace within and see any insight that may reside there at this moment. Make a conscious choice to take the connection of peace and love with you. Let me say that again. Make a conscious choice to take the connection of peace and love with you. I urge you to please do not leave it at the sanctuary door. And if you hear any sounds from the outside, allow yourself to be aware of each breath. The breath in, and then the breath out. Now let's just take a few moments to pause. Continuing to go to a deeper, more peaceful and quiet state with every conscious breath. Releasing and opening up, peaceful and centered. Allow your attention now to move to the area of your heart, the center of your chest. Imagine moving through the area of the heart with each mindful breath. For there is a deep and quiet peace. Imagine yourself anchored or rooted in this state of deep peace. Deep, deep peace. Imagine, too, that each breath you breathe is moving in and through this quiet place of peace. And that not only do you feel filled with this sense, but it is as if it emanates from you and all around you. And so continue now for the next couple of moments in complete stillness and silence. I'm reminded that stillness is referred to as the experience of complete and utter absence of any resistance. Continuing to be aware of the breath, be aware of the heart, and feeling so anchored, so rooted in this deep experience of peace. I share with you with some vulnerability that I have a practice now of taking a journey within. And I am so grateful for Reverend Kathy and Sandy, particularly, who many times talk about using our power of imagination to go to a safe place. Whether it's one we've been to or not, nature, walking in the trails, on the beach, on the ocean, whatever that is. Well, I love that. Always, so much comes to me from spirit within. And also, I have found value in taking the journey within as I begin to notice my body, my heart, and my mind, where in fact I find stress and how it shows up. And I've come to believe that those areas within my body are precisely the areas in which I have the opportunity to release and move to a place of being more healthy in body, mind, and in my own emotional being. So I offer that to you as perhaps an idea, as I know that has worked in marvelous ways. I trust it will also work in your life.